All right, welcome to the monthly member spotlight at Office Evolution here in Hillsboro, Oregon. And today's spotlight, or this month's spotlight, is David Yassa from the Growth Coach of Greater Portland. And welcome, David.
Thank you, Lee.
All right, so to get started, first caveat, I know David. We've worked together, and I highly can recommend, and I know, and we'll talk about this a little bit more later through the questions, but I personally know several of your success stories. So I can vouch, right? I'm excited to talk to you because everything that comes out of your mouth is gold, right? If people open their ears and listen to your advice, they will grow. And it's rare, and that's amazing. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest before we started. But we're going to start with a couple of personal questions, right? I know it's backwards. That's my surprise to you, all right? You can't get ready ahead of time, right? So, David, tell us a little bit about David Yassa. Who are you? Where do you come from? And what is your passion behind the Growth Coach?
That's a very good question, Lee. First, I'd like to thank you for the introduction. I also want to thank you for the words you have said. Working with you is always fun, and doing this with you is also so much fun. I am originally an electronics and telecommunications engineer. That's what I studied, but early on I discovered that I like people more than machines.
Right. I'm the opposite.
I know. And I like the business side of the world more than the technical side of the world. And that kind of helped me make decisions along my professional way. And one thing led to another, and I ended up being a business coach. I am Egyptian. I am married. I have 2 kids, Adam and Leo. Adam is 9. Leo is 5. They are fun.
Yeah, they are inquisitive. Fun. That's the word.
Very. Especially Adam,
right.
Because he's so much into photography.
Yes.
And who else other than you to ask about photography?
That was a fun walk.
It was.
Right. So thanks for sharing that. I know you and I have talked about you travel to Dubai a lot and saw a lot of connections over there, and it's like one of my bucket list places to visit. Me and a million other people, right? It's a gorgeous, gorgeous country. Next question, though, we'll move on because I get sidetracked. What might we find you doing on a day off?
Playing with the kids, traveling. I've traveled to more than 40 countries. Dubai is one of the cities that I've visited.
Right.
Swimming. The kids and I love swimming. Resting is one.
Right.
Sometimes you need that.
100% agree. I'm an expert at. Here's how long have you been in the Hillsboro area?
2 years now.
2 years, right? I say you're fairly new to the area.
Yeah.
With the kids and getting out and having an adventure, what have you found in this area that you really enjoy?
Oh my God, a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, the trails, the walks, including even the rain. I mean,
right.
Getting the kids outside and playing with them in the rain is fun.
Learning that getting wet isn't a bad thing, and
There's
you can have fun with it. I'm an Oregonian to heart, and I tell Kendall, let's go for a walk in the rain, right? I love it. I'm with you. So what kind of things do you geek out about, David?
Believe it or not, almost anything related to sports, and I mean it, anything. I have watched some sports that you cannot even imagine they existed, ever.
Right? Isn't that right? What is that from Dodgeball? Obscure sports quarterly, right?
Yes.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that on here, and my headphones are falling off, so I was trying not to mess up my hair on the video.
You're good.
We're too late for that.
So yeah, I geek a lot about sports. I geek a lot about, about history.
So being from where you're from, what's your favorite sport?
Soccer.
Okay, I knew it, right?
Of course. Soccer, I mean, my favorite soccer player is Mo Salah. He's an Egyptian.
I don't know. I'll say yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's an Egyptian soccer player playing in Liverpool. one of the best in the
Right,
world.
absolutely.
Now.
That I know. You don't need to be a fan to
Yeah,
know that, right?
exactly.
That's
So,
one of those things.
Yeah.
How about books and authors? Do you have somebody you'd like to recommend?
So my all-time favorite book, and I recommend everybody reads it. And if people read it before, they need to read it again.
Right.
And if they have read it again, they need to read it one more time. Is How to Influence and Influence
Yep.
People by Dale Carnegie.
I'm a graduate, if you didn't know, from How to Win Friends
Yeah.
and Influence People. I have my pen, right?
It is something.
And I went through it in a different age, right? 20 years ago or so, before everything was on a cell phone and this kind of thing. And so I imagine the course has changed, but still to this day, I do. I use things I learned from there every day of my life to speak. And people ask me, where'd you get the confidence to be able to talk in front of people and do that? And that was the beginning of it right there. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
If you do not know how to make friends and how to influence people, then read that book before thinking of growing your
And we're
business.
talking about positive influence,
Positive
not a negative
influence.
influence of
Positive
people, right?
influence.
Absolutely.
And winning friends is a good thing.
Yep. How do you make a good friend in a business? You help their business.
Yeah.
You influence.
You add value.
Yes. I mean,
That's how you influence people.
yep. And art. Do you have a favorite artist?
Artist is a big word.
It is.
Yeah. My wife is my favorite artist. She paints and draws, and
I love
she's
that.
really good at it. So
I love that.
She is.
I don't know if I seen a painting of your wife's. I don't know if I have.
Yeah, in my office.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go. Yep, there
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, in
That's
my
right.
office.
And if you could travel anywhere, which you travel a lot, so this is a loaded question for you, but if you could travel anywhere, where would it be and why?
Again, I've been to more than 40 countries, but I've never been to Japan. It's a destination that I want to go to.
It's number one on my bucket list as well.
Culture,
Culture,
you
the
find everything. there.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to go
Top
there
of my
one
list.
day. Yeah.
I'm with you. And then, randomly enough, the next question item, bucket item list. What's your bucket list item?
I want to go to Japan, and I want to jump off a cliff. I've done it before.
I've been told to do that.
In the army.
Don't jump off a cliff. I have jumped off. I've rappelled.
I have done it before, but I want to do it one more time. It's
Right. And are you talking about rappelling or free jump? Not free basing. That's older. What are they? Base jumping. That's the word I'm looking for. Free basing, I think, is something don't do, kids. But
just running and jumping into the water.
I love it. That I'm afraid of heights.
I
And,
have done it before.
I played
and
with it until I saw that. Remember, I saw that hoax video that went around a couple years ago, where they jump into the water and then there's great white sharks. And
No,
that ruined it for me. I'm done. I have a rule. I don't swim anywhere where I'm bait.
I don't want the sharks. No.
All right, David. Sorry. I told you I have a lot of fun with this, and it's a casual conversation.
I'm having a
right?
lot of
and I
fun,
shouldn't
too.
be shaking the paper because the microphones pick it up, and we'll get better at this as we go. So let's talk about the growth coach of Greater Portland, right? Why you're really here is what this podcast is about. We love chatting about you, but let's get into some of the stuff that your business is all about, right? So what is the growth coach of Greater Portland?
This is a good question. What I do is that I help business owners, leaders, and businesses discover where they are really at, then discover where they want to be. Then we walk that journey of growth through structured processes.
Right?
That's what I do in simple words.
I love that. I mean, because that is it, right? I know for myself, and I talk about this all the time, I'm a creative, I'm a photographer. So I came to this job or business or my business out of the love of photography, not business. So I can take a photo, but I can't balance a book, right? I know nothing about business, and I know nothing about how to make my business grow. And that was one of the hardest first lessons I had to learn is, as a photography business, the business of that is more important than the photography of it. And somebody like you that's perfect to get that coaching one-on-one direct, you save a lot of aggravation and time So yeah, sorry, I'm not here to commercial you. I just appreciate what you do. So the favorite thing about your business, we just heard mine. What's your favorite thing about your business?
Meeting people. I get to hang out and meet some brilliant entrepreneurs
Right,
almost every day, and
right,
then helping those people grow.
right.
Uh, this is the favorite part of my business. That's what I love doing. That's what I do every day, and that's what I love doing.
I love it. And why did you choose? You know, you've talked when we talk about your personal, you've done a lot of cool things. So you kind of led to it a little bit, specifically the growth coach and that. Why did you choose that? There's a lot of options out there, right?
It felt like everything that happened in my life, in my professional life, before opening my business coaching business, led to me being here. So I have done sales, I've done marketing, I've done product management, project management. I have led teams in different countries across different functions. I've owned and managed P&Ls. Some of them were really big.
Right.
So it just felt like this is the natural progression to use what I've learned throughout my previous professional life and use it to help people.
Take all that experience, match it with an infrastructure like the growth coach,
Yep.
and it's magic.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So the experience with the structure, that's what makes people grow.
Right. And this also might seem like a little redundant question, but it's important to separate a little bit. Or what are 3 reasons you do love your career? 3 reasons.
The 3 are, I get to meet people every day. Again, some of them are entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, directors, CEOs, CFOs. It's fun.
Right.
Second thing, I help those people grow their businesses. And trust me, the happiness you get when you see people growing is huge. And then the third thing is I get to enjoy that growth with
Right.
them. They come and they celebrate that growth with me. This is very rewarding.
Right. I was kind of scanning the questions because with that, your answers to the top 3 reasons, it really makes me think, and I won't say specific names, but I know of a company personally that you've worked with, that we network with, that a few years ago when he joined and we started networking, he had a couple employees, was running in and out of his home, and was always busy. He couldn't work on his business because he was so busy being busy. And you jumped in, he trusted, he put some money into you and some effort and time into you and listened to your coaching. And we're a couple years later and he has now bought a building. I couldn't tell you how many employees he has, but it's like 15.
You're absolutely right.
And he's running his business. He's not working in his business. He's working on his business now. And I mean, talk about a success story, right? That in a couple of years, you went from somebody that was pulling their hair out to somebody who's growing and enjoying the growth.
I mean, they have done most of the heavy lifting, of course.
They do, but you're the direction.
True. It's that thing. I was actually talking to a client yesterday, and they have a similar story. In the first 5 months of 2022, they ended up making what they have made in 2021 as a business.
Right, right.
And
that has to feel so good.
It feels so good, and we're heading towards more than doubling what they have made last year. The great thing is that once we shake hands on things with that business owner you were talking about, or with my other clients, once we shake hands on things, they go and do what we agreed about. And when they come back, we celebrate successes.
Right. Well, isn't that like the important piece of coaching? Right. You could give advice all day, but if it's not followed, it's useless advice. So if you're going to hire a coach to just ignore, I'm making dumb facial expressions for people that are just listening because it doesn't make sense. You got to follow what the coach says.
But then, and the great thing that they trust me enough to let me hold them accountable.
Right.
This
Absolutely.
is also something I really enjoy. We build that trust. Again, it's a journey. It's a partnership.
Right.
And because of that trust and this partnership, they trust me to hold them accountable, and they end up doing what we agree about, and that helps them grow.
Right. So here's another one. This is another good one. What are your top tips for other entrepreneurs? Keep it brief. You can go
Can
all
I?
day with right.
I have 5 of them.
Okay, perfect.
The first one is face your reality. Don't bury your head in the sand.
I love it.
Know your numbers, face your reality. If you're in a good position and you want to be in a better one, say so. If you're in a bad position, say so. There is nothing wrong with facing your reality. Second one, know your strengths. Because once you know them, you'll be able to capitalize on them and grow your business based on what you're good at. Third one is manage your relationships.
Right.
Manage those relationships with your clients, with your referral partners, and with your employees. And stop chasing strangers. 80% of your future growth will come from your current relationships.
All right, people. That's one of those, that little 30-second button on your podcast thing. Click that and listen to that again.
Should I say it again?
Do it. I mean, that's key. I love that, and it's true.
It is true. Fourth thing is manage your priorities. We spoke about this before, Lee.
Yes.
Create your not to-do list. Not a repeated not to-do list. And what is on your to-do list, it matters, but what matters more is what goes into your to-do list. And the fifth thing is always redefine your vision and goals.
Yes.
Vision and goals should not be static. They should be a very dynamic thing. Actually, I do that with my clients. Every 3 months, we redefine our vision and goals.
I love that. I do. I really like that because, especially today, things change. So, what is the best career advice you've received?
The best one was, it's all about people.
Yeah.
If you want to grow, you need to network. Simple. It's basic, it's simple, it's raw.
I'll tell you one of the things somebody told me years ago that I think about all the time because of my peers, people struggle with this. They said, don't make it hard to get paid. That's simple advice, but that's some strong advice. Somebody says, do you take checks or do you take Venmo? Yep.
I take everything.
Right. I like to get paid.
One more thing, make business with you fun.
Absolutely.
Don't overcomplicate your structure or your emails.
People will spend more money on an experience or a memory than they will a product. Every
100%.
day. Yeah, right? So I love it.
Because you should not be selling products.
Right.
You're selling 3 things: experiences and benefits. You're selling advantages and results.
See, there, I turned my head again. There it is. I mean, free advice, people, that 30-second button. All right, so are you a dreamer, risk taker, or doer?
I thought a lot about this question. Actually, any business owner should be the 3 of them. You need to be a dreamer, and you need to focus on your vision and goals.
Right.
This is the dreamer in you. You need to be a risk taker at times. Some business decisions are risky.
Right.
And if you're not a risk taker, you will never make them. And if you don't make them, you're not going to grow.
Right.
And at times you need to execute. You need to be the doer. There is nothing wrong with that. So this leads you to be a situational leader. You lead, or you change your leadership style. And I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah.
Because you've been in the army. You change your leadership style based on the situation.
100%. You can't do the same type. Yeah, we could go down that road for a long conversation. That's something I struggle with, like bad leaders just get under my skin. So, all right, we got a couple left down here. How long have you been an OE member? So OE is Office Evolution, and that's where we're recording here.
I think I joined OE Hillsborough or Tennisbourne 1 month after they opened.
Right. I know you've been a long time member.
Yeah, October. I think I'm like the 2nd or 3rd member here. October 2020.
Nice. That's, yeah. And how has Office Evolution help your business, right?
In so many ways. One, they were the perfect option for me when I started my business back then. Two, they're the best option for me now when I'm growing my business. I have my own office.
Right.
I enjoy the flex space. I get to meet other business owners. They have a very nice kitchen. Their coffee is amazing. I mean, what else do you
You
want
have a
from
receptionist.
They have exactly a free
That's what I'm
receptionist,
saying, right?
actually. A waiting area, meeting rooms.
And their meeting rooms, I know we do a few meetings in there. They're set up to do virtual meetings.
And I've done some virtual workshops, actually hybrid workshops.
That's what I meant to say. All this new terminology, right?
I know.
The hybrid, where you can have people in there, and then they also have the cameras and the computer setups to do Zoom or whatever your preferred method is. But I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing. Did you know that anybody that comes and visits me in my office, they have to say the same exact thing? This office area looks so welcoming, bright, and it makes people happy when they enter.
It's a creative space.
It is.
I mean, I agree. From the first time I came here, you walk in, and the colors, the layout, the lighting, as a photographer, I'm like, I could sit here and work and be creative.
Yeah.
This space lets me breathe. It's not your stuffy shared workspace environment.
No,
It's
no,
well
it's not.
lit. It's so like breathe is a great. I don't know how to
Exactly.
describe
You
it.
get.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna say the same. You come into the office, you're not like, oh, one more
Right.
day. No, the light and the environment is like, you take a deep breath, you enjoy the light, and then you go in, and you're happy about coming. So I love the space.
I agree. So thank you guys for listening. David, this has been David Yassa with the Growth Coach of Greater Portland. David, where can people find you?
My website is www.thegrowthcoachgreaterportland.com. They can also call me on my business phone, which is 503-319-2752. They can find my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. All they need to do is Google David Yassa, the Growth Coach, and they can find it. And if you Google the Growth Coach Greater Portland on Facebook, you'll find my Facebook page, and you can find the same on LinkedIn as well.
Definitely check out his YouTube page if you want some more free advice from David, because he's been working with Rebecca from Diest Digital Solutions creating these videos.
Hi, Rebecca.
Yeah, she's over in the corner. She's our producer. I was going to mention her. Yeah, she's over there making sure we don't get too off track here. And but they've been great from what they started to what they are now. The advice, I look forward to seeing them. Some really good stuff. So make sure you check out his YouTube. And speaking of which, Rebecca's Diest Digital Solutions. She is the producer of this podcast. She puts it together and does all that hard work behind the scenes to make it work to come together and then to actually be seen afterwards. And that's important these days. So if you're interested in getting seen a little bit more, you got all that digital content, but nobody's looking at it, www.vd-ds.com is where to go. I tell you, I'm Lee Gochenour with Gochenour Photography, and I'm the mouth of this place, right? I'm the person that just keeps doing the talking, but my website is www.hillsboroheadshots.com, and the reason I said it that way is because Rebecca created that for me. And when I met her, I had a different website that I would get 1 or 2 leads, not jobs, a year. And she came and she goes, yeah, no, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it. She created this website, did the SEO behind the scenes. And for years now, I've been number 1, 2. I'm in the first page, and that's the important thing, always in Google, all over the area. And I get referrals and jobs monthly from that website. So thanks, Dad.
You're awesome,
there's your
Rebecca.
Plug, Rebecca. Appreciate it. And of course, we're at Office Evolution in their podcast studio. Easy. You come in. It's a great environment. You can set up a camera like we've done, so you can do some video, which is important these days. But all you do is you plug in your card in the back of this. You turn this on. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff we won't get into, but it just makes it simple. You can plop down and create a professional sounding podcast with literally no experience. So this has been the monthly member spotlight. Thank you so much, David, for joining us today. And we'll talk to you guys all next month.
Thank you, Lee. I had an awesome time. Thank you so much.
Great.